Good morning. Welcome to the Portal podcast with Bob Colbert. I'm your host, Bob Colbert. Today we're going to do the Temple of Antoninus and Faustina. So let's go ahead and get to the video.
The Temple of Antoninus and Faustina is an ancient Roman temple in Rome, adapted as a Roman Catholic church, namely the Chiesa di San Lorenzo in Miranda, or simply San Lorenzo in Miranda. The temple was begun in 141 AD by the Emperor Antoninus Pius and was initially dedicated to his deceased and deified wife, Faustina the Elder. When Antoninus Pius was deified after his death in 161 AD, the temple was rededicated jointly to Antoninus and Faustina at the instigation of his successor, Marcus Aurelius. The building stands on a high platform of large Perpino blocks. The later of two dedicatory inscriptions says, Divo Antonino e Diva Faustina ex SC, meaning, to the divine Antoninus and to the divine Faustina by the...
All righty. As you can tell, I'm wearing a festive hat. It is getting close to Christmas. This will be the last Portal podcast for the year 2023, as the staff here at Exploration TV is we're losing folks to travel and being with family and things like that. So that's the way it goes. So I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year. We'll pick it up in the new year with the Portal podcast number 10. All righty, so let's go ahead and do a little reading as we usually do. So the Temple of Antonius and Faustina is an ancient Roman temple in Rome. It was later converted into a Roman Catholic church, the Chiesa di San Lorenzo in Miranda, or simply San Lorenzo in Miranda. It's located in the Roman Forum literally on the Via Sacra Road, opposite the Regia. The temple was constructed by Emperor Antonius Pius, beginning in 141 AD. It was initially dedicated to his deceased and deified wife, Faustina the Elder. Because of this, Faustina was the first Roman empress with a permanent presence in the Roman Forum. When Antoninus Pius was deified after his death in 161 AD, that was 20 years later, the temple was rededicated to both Antonius and Faustina by his successor, Marcus Aurelius. The building stands on a high platform of large gray Peperino temple blocks. The latter of the two deprecatory inscriptions say Diva Antonia and Divia Faustina SC, which means for divine Antoninus and for the divine Faustina by decree of the Senate. The 8 monolithic Corinthian columns of its pronaos are 17 meters or 56 feet in height, featuring the rich bas reliefs of the frieze under the cornice up there at the top, featuring griffins and acanthus scrolls and candelabra were often copied from the 16th century through the 19th century. Based on the numismatic evidence, the temple was originally fenced off from the Via Sacra, and a large seated statue of Faustina would have been inside of the cella. Fragments of this statue and one of Antonius Pius, which was added later, was discovered in front of the temple. Now the church, which it was revamped into the Roman Catholic Church, the temple was converted into a Roman Catholic Church, the Chiesa di San Lorenzo in Miranda, perhaps as early as the 7th century. but it's only attested from the 11th century work by Mirabilia Urbis Romae. Miranda may derive the name of a benefactress. At that time, it was thought that was the location of sentencing of St. Lawrence, deacon and martyred to death by the prefect of Rome, hence its dedication. The Christianization accounts for the survival of the cella and the portico of the temple through the centuries, though it did not preserve the edifice from all of the damage. Originally, the podium was faced with white marble slabs with matching marble moldings at the top and bottom. Most of the marble facing was scavenged, except for the molding. The deep grooves in the temple's columns are supposed to date to the medieval attempt to dismantle the pillared portico, either for spolio or to destroy the pagan temple. The grooves also may have been used to attach a makeshift roof over the portico. Also, in the Middle Ages, a staircase was built on the side facing the forum, but it's now impossible to enter that side because there is a gap of 6 meters, 20 feet between the foot of the steps and the bronze door. Before archaeological excavations, the ground level was at this door level. Excavations in front of the temple were undertaken in the year 1546 AD, again in 1810, and in intervals from 1876 onward. In the year 1429, Pope Martin V gave the church to the Collegio delle Spezia, or Guild of Apothecaries, at the time, officially dominated the Universitas of Armatorium. The college still uses its adjoining Guild Hall, which contains a small museum that holds a receipt for medicine that Raphael had signed. Side chapels were erected after this date. The church lacks the usual Eastern apse. One was never added so as to retain the temple's structural integrity. In the year 1536, the church was partially demolished and the side chapels removed in order to restore the ancient temple for the visit of Rome of Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. The church, now constrained within the cella of the temple, was remodeled in 1602 by Orazio Torriani, creating a single nave and 3 new side chapels. So the main altar has Rhetorido's canvas by Pietro de Cortana of the Martyrdom of St. Lawrence in 1646, while the first chapel on the left hosts the Madonna and Child with Saints, 1626, by Domicina. All right, that's enough reading. All right, so let me take this off. I'm going to bring up the Sketchfab model. Let me minimize this. All right, let me bring the Sketchfab model up. Yeah, there we go. Let me turn this. There we go. So this was the Sketchfab model that we had shown in the early podcast. So I can orient, what we're looking at is number 7. That's the Antonius and Faustina temple right there, number 7. So to orient you a little bit how this is a 3D sketch map fab model. So there is the Colosseum right there. And so you can just tell it's a little short walk over, wrong way, to right there. So let me zoom in. So this is what the church. Now remember, this is a low fab polygon fab model, 3D model. So yeah. So it kind of looks like it's like melted wax. Let me zoom in. Yeah, there we go. All right. So again, this is like a low fab polygon 3D model. Uh, so I mean, it kind of looks like melted wax. It's obviously not that like that. So, but that's kind of what it looks like in today's, yeah, in the Roman Forum. And I'll just kind of scroll around a little bit. This was the Vestal House of the Vestal Virgins right there. And I believe that was the Temple of Vesta. And I think this was the Arch of Titus. Yeah, that we reviewed also. So yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like. We went through this. If you want to go back to the earlier uh, podcast, I forget which one it was, 3, 4, something like that. Yeah. All right. Also, I wanted to show you. Let me turn this off, and I'll go down.
The Temple of Antoninus.
Sorry. So, in the heyday of the Roman Forum, this is kind of what it looked like, uh, notionally, where you have people gathered in the courtyards and things like that. Had people just talking and people listening about various things, probably political stuff, war, and things like that. So I have some additional pictures that I found. So I'll bring those up. So I kind of show you what it would also look like. Oops, I think I got to go back. Uh, Let me go back to the other. Sorry. Should have been better organized here. So yeah, so these kind of what you would have seen back in heyday there. And you remember I was telling you it had hosted a lot of people. So and it could have been market bazaars, places where you had food, things being sold. You can also go there and entertainment and stuff like that. Gather. You got see people there eating at tables, wrestling, probably praying, things like that. So yeah, so that's kind of what it would have looked like back in that day. I also wanted to show you from what I said last week, I wanted to show you what the house here, the Roman villa in ancient Rome, looks like. So I was trying to make it smaller there. I don't know if I can do that. So I guess I'll just have to rotate it around. So yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like, the Roman villa in other rooms in there. This is the room that you're typically familiar with, right there. Seeing the library. The other was the living room. This is another room. Yeah, there's a television in every room. And then this is the side. Yeah, sort of. There's no windows. It's all outside. So this is kind of like a outdoor patio. And then there's the Coliseum right there. It's actually fairly big. There's another large room for gathering for guests, friends, family. There's another view. This is the amphitheater on the other side. So I can look out and watch the plays or whatever events, entertainment events are being uh, goings on. And there's, I guess, another look on the opposite side. And one more kind of art and a decorative. This is more like the formal living room of today. And then oops, I lost it. Oh, during the spring, it's quite green out there, but I don't think you can see it. Yeah, it's green. All this is like green grass. Interesting. All right. Let me go back to. All right. So today we did a review of the Temple of Antonius and Faustina the Elder. So at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we're going to do our on the tabletop podcast. Hope you join us on the history of Christmas, and I'll be showing some pictures of our decorations and our Christmas village. So I hope you join us for that at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So this will be a little short podcast today. I'm kind of short staffed. So, wherever you are, I hope your family has a very safe and very thankful and a great Christmas with family and friends. There should also be a lot of good food on the table, got a lot of good festivities, and when you come back in the new year, come back refreshed, and hope you come back and join us on the podcast, The Portal with Bob Colbert. So take care, my friends. You have a wonderful Saturday. Catch us at 10 o'clock on the Table Talk. Goodbye, my friends. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.